Psycho Party Planner is an original Lifetime movie which was released in January 2020. It stars Katrina Begin, Lindsay McKeon, and Catherine Dillon Benz, all actresses that I am not familiar with. The movie has a rating of almost 3 stars, which is probably too high in all honesty. The movie begins with the antagonist, Lindy, who is visibly upset because she finds out that she cannot conceive children with her husband, whom is also a politician. The husband asks her why she's upset, and she begins to explain to him that she is unable to carry his child. The husband becomes belligerent, stating that because he's a politician, he's unable to adopt, and must have a kid who shares the same blood as him.
So, maybe we adopt.
Celebrities adopt. Politicians create bloodlines. You know this.
Seriously? This is the first time I've heard this. That's so fucking ridiculous. What is so special about his blood? Maybe he's a reptilian or something. She then tries her best to come up with solutions to alleviate the growing tension between them, but unfortunately fails to persuade him to stay.
So, how about we hire a surrogate?
Okay, so I'm supposed to pay some woman we barely know how much to help you do your job?
I must say, they did a wonderful job at making me dislike this character in less than 2 minutes into the movie. Bravo, bravo.
Apparently you can't.
What is that supposed to mean? Where are you going?
To have a nightcap. Or 3, and figure out what to do about us.
What to do about us? What does that mean?
It means I don't know if I want to be with someone who can't have my kids.
Seriously? This guy is acting like a total prick. All of this could have been avoided if he simply just made it a priority to find out if she was able to properly conceive at the start of their relationship. It's not like she just decided one day to not have kids. But okay, yeah, whatever.
That's not a part of the deal I signed on for.
You know, when I first met you, I always knew you were a shallow prick. But then I thought maybe I could fix him.
Oh shit, less than 3 minutes in and we're already roasting each other. Need I remind you that she decided to marry him and potentially have kids. Something tells me that she wasn't in this relationship because she had genuine feelings.
But apparently, can't be fixed.
Yeah. Well, at least we can thank my mother for insisting on that prenup.
This guy is a fucking savage. Well, there we have it. Our first death, guys. Honestly, maybe he should have saved that roast for another time. Preferably when he's not standing by a steep staircase. Honestly, the fall he took didn't even look that bad. How did he die from that? Also, can we appreciate her personality change? She went from sweet and reasonable to a murderer in a matter of seconds. I guess that's all it takes for these movies, huh? Kerry, the protagonist of the movie, then auditions for the drill team, and surprise, she makes the team. She comes home elated and tells her parents the great news. They have a nice dinner at home to celebrate, and while her and her privileged family are all at the table, she casually brings up the topic of her upcoming birthday and suggests that she should celebrate by going all out for her sweet 16. She wants the party of her dreams, and the parents explain that they are awful at coordinating events. So the mother offers to hire the best party planner ever that they can find. So here we have Lindy, who uses some generic advertising website in hopes that she gets chosen to plan Kerry's party. How she knew that Kerry needed a party planner to help plan the party? No one knows. Lindy then whips out this pretty ballerina snow globe. Ooh. Kerry's mom and her assistant Shonda are now conducting interviews to find the perfect party planner for Kerry's Sweet 16. They interview a lady named Dulcie, who seems to hit it off with Kerry's mom.
No open-toed shoes, no tuxes or prom dresses or anything tacky or overall snooty. I mean like upscale casual, but still something you can hit the ping pong table wearing.
Dulcie is already controlling the party and she isn't even hired yet.
I love that idea.
What mother doesn't? It's a great distraction to help all those boys keep their hands to themselves.
I'm pretty sure they were going to keep their hands to themselves anyways. This isn't an orgy, Dulcie. Lindy is then scheduled for an interview and does surprisingly well, especially in terms of emotionally connecting to Kerry.
Okay, well, my aim would be to give Kerry the most fabulous, classy, super special Sweet 16 that I never had. And I can assure you that if you hire me, you will be the envy of every girl at the party, have the attention of every boy, and be the talk of Crestwood High all year long. Just as it should be.
Lindy, those are some bold promises to make. After the interview, Lindy exits the building, but decides to enter back inside to drop off her contact information. She overhears Kerry's mom and her assistant say that they want to hire Dulcie, while Kerry admits that she actually prefers Lindy.
Lindy seems a little elitist for my taste.
Since Lindy realizes that she's not going to get the job, she grabs Dulcie's resume and replaces it with her card. I mean, this doesn't make much sense. Wouldn't they have realized Dulcie's resume is suddenly missing and noticed that she put her card where the resume was? Surely they can put two and two together and realize that she was the one responsible for stealing it. Lindy then arrives at Dulcie's house, attempting to convince her to give her the job instead.
Really need the money right now. I don't get the life insurance money for a while yet, and this job just... it means everything to me.
Well, again, I truly am sorry for your loss, but if you're so hard up for cash, you could try selling that handbag. It's worth at least $2,000 in mint condition.
Okay, that was fucking hilarious. You tell her, Dulcie.
Which it is.
Right. I could. If this wasn't the last thing that my husband bought me before he died. Clearly it means too much for me to sell.
Lindy, stop trying to guilt trip Dulcie into giving you the job. You're the one that literally killed your husband. Dulcie quickly catches on to Lindy's facade and calls her out on her conspicuous bullshit. She shuts the door on Lindy and goes back to her wine and dine. Dulcie, who is beginning to become increasingly agitated, threatens to call the cops and advises her to leave. She continues to chug back her wine, understandably so. Dulcie is clearly feeling unsafe in her own home, so instead of approaching the door, why doesn't she call 911? She asked Lindy to leave multiple times now, so... Dulcie notices that her side entrance is opened, alluding to the fact that Lindy has entered her house. Instead of running outside and attempting to find help, she decides to close the door instead and corner herself in with the lady who is obviously deranged.
What kind of person doesn't feel bad when someone tells you their husband was killed? You are cold and lifeless, Dulcie. Do you know that?
Lindy surprisingly doesn't murder Dulcie on the spot and leaves the house. Dulcie finally rushes to call 911, but like the utter dumbass she is, she doesn't lock her doors. Really, Dulcie, you aren't going to lock your doors after this lady already snuck in? You deserve to die at this point. Lindy picks up the gnome and bashes Dulcie in the head, finally killing Dulcie. Lindy and Kerry are becoming more acquainted and are talking briefly about the party. She hands over an album of ideas, and Kerry seems impressed.
Looks really great. And teal is my favorite color. How did you know?
I had no idea. I just love it too.
Wait, you didn't get Nicole, Frank, and Native Gem to sponsor this, did you? Everyone at school totally loves these brands.
This is the moment that I realized that her character has no emotional depth whatsoever. She literally only cares about everything materialistic. Everyone at school loves these brands. Why does she sound like an advertisement? She's extremely unlikable and unrelatable so far. And honestly, at this point, I'm rooting for Lindy, since she's the only real source of entertainment so far.
If I promise that on a budget of $2,000, I can throw Kerry the Sweet 16 of the century.
I'm not made out of money, but holy shit, that's a lot of money. I love how Kerry seems perfectly fine with her parents spending that much money on her. I'm glad to know that she thinks she's worth it.
And 5, 6, 7, 8. Very nice, Misty. Good form, Savannah. Where's the life in your performance?
I'm sorry, I thought I had the moves down.
Your moves are fine, but where's the life?
I'm sorry, I don't know what you mean.
You paint, right? So just pretend it's one of your paintings, only your facial expressions and your movements are the art. All right, to the back. Again, ladies!
Oh my god, that intense music at the end is priceless. Isn't this a bit odd that her party planner is now assuming a parental role in Kerry's life and is watching her at her shitty dance practices? Also, why is the coach borderline bullying this poor girl? She's dancing just like everybody else. Lindy then encourages, well, borderline forces Kerry to ask her crush Charlie to the party and proceeds to awkwardly hype her up.
And you just need a little sprucing. Okay, now go over there, call him over, and give him no other option but to say yes.
Hey, Charlie.
Kerry, hey.
Hey. My parents are throwing me this, Sweet 16 party, and I was wondering if you could come.
Oh, Sweet 16, huh? So what, like a party with dance and stuff, you know?
Yes.
No, you fuckwit. A party with drugs and sex, of course. This entire conversation is so forced and awkward, especially knowing that he can literally see Lindy and her friend on top of the staircase staring right at them. Hello? It's the next day, and Lindy is supposed to pick up Kerry from school. She notices Kerry's crush talking to one of Kerry's drill teammates and comes up with the perfect idea to nearly run them right over in order to stop their conversation. Kerry is then forced to awkwardly introduce Lindy to her teammates after nearly just trying to kill them.
Charlie, the one who's been crushing on you? You didn't tell me he was so cute.
Why would she say this? Is she trying to embarrass Kerry? She's being so inconsiderate. I actually feel kind of bad for Kerry right now, but she seems to not give a fuck, so...
Thank you, I appreciate that. It's nice to meet you. I'm looking forward to the party.
Well, aren't we all? We're actually just about to have a go-look-see at a little special something I've been cooking up for the birthday girl. Savannah, Charlie, want to ride?
Oh, no, I'm good, thank you though.
Yeah, I'm good. But next time, absolutely.
Ah, yes. Offering other minors that you barely know a ride? Ooh, yeah, that's definitely not creepy and predatory or anything.
Shall we, Kerry?
Okay. I guess, see ya.
See ya. Oh, and just a little observation, Misty. You should really lighten up on the eyeliner. It really ages you. Too young and pretty to look so old, you know? Bye, girls.
The hair flip and the sunglasses? Dude, she's so cool. I want to be just like her. Why is she insulting a teenage girl anyways? She has done nothing wrong to Kerry, that we know of at least, other than talking to Kerry's romantic interests. They then arrive at Lindy's place to further discuss the mundane details of the party, and Lindy is quick to offer Kerry a drink of wine. Kerry refuses, saying that her parents would disapprove. Lindy dismisses Kerry's concern and urges her to drink, despite her being only 15 years old. She finally accepts the drink to get the hag off her back. Lindy then takes Kerry's phone and then tells her that she is going to put it in the charger, but she actually doesn't. Lindy suggests that for the Sweet 16, that Kerry and her drill team should dance in front of everyone, because that's definitely not cringy and awkward at all. Kerry then explains that her drill coach dislikes her mom for some unknown reason, and that Kerry believes that the coach is also taking it out on her.
Well, I love the idea, but I don't think Coach will be okay with that. She doesn't really like me that much.
Yeah, I noticed that yesterday.
Kerry then arrives home to a very upset and concerned mother who smells the alcohol on her breath. The mother is upset that she did not contact her at all while she was out. Kerry explains that Lindy accidentally didn't put her phone in the charger, ultimately leaving no way for Kerry to contact her mother. I mean, she could have just borrowed Lindy's phone or something to call, but alright. She then sends an angry email to Lindy, letting her know that what she did was inappropriate. The next day, Kerry asks the bitchy coach if the team could perform at her party, and the cunt naturally says no. Kerry texts Lindy telling her the bad news, and Lindy becomes enraged. She hurries over to the coach's house, where Lindy becomes a secret agent by parking openly in front of them. She spots Miss Meadows and the basketball coach tangoing, and begins to take pictures. She now has acquired necessary blackmail material to help aid Kerry with her dream and dancing in front of the masses. Lindy walks out like the badass she is and does a verbal confrontation.
Look, I don't want to be here any more than either of you want the coach's wife to know. I just wanted to show you these. Okay then. So as you know, Kerry wants the drill team to perform at her Sweet 16. And now that you've seen what I have here, you're gonna make that happen.
Why doesn't Miss Meadows and the coach just call 911? She's literally blackmailing them, as well as trespassing. After eye-fucking the coach and Miss Meadows, she leaves, knowing that she has done her job of instilling fear into her helpless victims. While Kerry is trying on dresses for the party, Lindy breaks down into tears in front of Kerry, turning Kerry's moment into her own.
Hey, are you okay? Is it something I said?
No, not at all. It's just that I am.
She then spills out her emotional baggage onto a 15-year-old who probably has no idea how to respond to such news.
Recently found out that I can't actually have children is all.
Kerry awkwardly expresses her sincere condolences.
You can still be a mom.
Yeah, thank you. And it's just been so nice being able to plan this party with you. It's kind of like having my own adopted daughter.
Well, I think that's a really healthy outlook.
Kerry, don't lie to her. At this point, you're just feeding into her delusions. Lindy then suggests that Kerry could be her daughter.
You know, it's funny. You kind of look like you could be my daughter. Funny.
Which is extremely inappropriate, considering she just told Kerry she can't be a mom. Lindy is creepy as fuck. Kerry then arrives at school the next day, passing out invitations to her peers at school. Everyone's looking at her like she's the hottest shit since sliced bread. I also love how in the scene, there's this periodic flashing as to suggest that Kerry is some sort of celebrity, like there's paparazzi watching this ordinary teenager. Relax, you're not handing out gold. It's just an invitation. Shonda, Kerry's mom's assistant, then gets notified that Dulcie was murdered at her house, and both of them seem to not give a shit.
That we tried to hire her, never heard back? Now we know why.
Wow. Do they know what happened?
Said it was a home invasion robbery gone bad.
That is just awful.
Right? Should we tell Kerry?
I don't know. Maybe we shouldn't. I don't want to make things worse than they already are.
What could be worse than Lindy?
What can be worse than Lindy? I don't know. How about death? I love how they find out this person was murdered and only give a shit about themselves. Shonda then randomly tells Kerry's mom that she should plan the party instead, and that she doesn't need a party planner.
You don't need a party planner.
Somehow, Lindy magically knows what Shonda said, and attempts to kill Shonda. Shonda lives, however, but now suffers from a concussion. Lindy and Kerry are hanging out, again, and no one seems to question anything. Anyways, Lindy is sharing her dating advice, which she certainly isn't qualified to do. She mentions how she was with a boy in high school and got too caught up with him, hinting that she got pregnant.
I got caught up with the wrong boy in high school.
This was the moment that I realized that Lindy was Kerry's biological mother, and that Kerry was actually adopted by her parents. Kerry then jokingly calls her mom,
Thanks, Mom.
which I'm sure Lindy absolutely adored. Lindy then plants a seed of doubt into Kerry's mind, causing her to doubt her parents.
Is this it?
Yeah, these are all the family albums down to the year I was born.
Okay, well, we're gonna want to pull about 40 to 50 pics for the collage. So let's have a look. Huh. Seems strange. There's not any photos from your birth.
Lindy is such a cunt for doing this, as she is purposely causing emotional trauma towards her biological daughter. Kerry's parents then tell her the truth, that she is indeed adopted, and told her that they were going to tell her after the birthday party and didn't want to ruin her special day. Kerry begins to emotionally act out, which the movie tries to display by making Kerry wear a crop top. What a wonderful message to share. She's even ignoring her parents, even though she is happily accepting their $2,000 budget for her sweet 16.
Kerry, I'm sure that your mother loves you as if you were her own.
Yeah, but not.
The coach is suddenly being very friendly to Kerry, even though she was being really mean to her before. She attempts to make Kerry feel better, but fails to do so. Lindy pops up out of nowhere.
So,
Kerry!
Seriously, how long does it take to plan a 16-year-old's birthday? Why does she keep appearing at her school?
Apparently, she and Lindy were going through some old photos. Lindy wanted to create a collage and she couldn't find any baby photos of Kerry like anywhere.
Savannah, Kerry's friend, suddenly knows every small detail of what happened during their interaction, but fails to connect the dots. Kerry's mom has been depressed during all of this, even telling her husband that she hasn't eaten days because she feels so bad for Kerry. Kerry eventually realizes that she doesn't want to be responsible for her mother's death and makes up with her parents. Miss Meadows suddenly loses her mind because she decides to visit Kerry's mother, even though apparently they had some unspoken beef years ago. Like, what the fuck? She was literally tormenting her daughter in the beginning of the movie because of it, and now she wants to help them?
Anyway, the reason that I stopped by is to tell you that I think you need to be very careful around your party planner.
What? Why would you say that? Did something happen?
She threatened to expose an affair I was having with a married coworker and have us both fired if I didn't let the dance team perform at Kerry's party.
I can't tell if she's doing this out of revenge to get back at Lindy, but it wouldn't surprise me if that was her motive. Kerry then goes out for a nice meal with her friends, and her friends try to encourage her to talk to her parents.
Maybe now you can talk to your mom so she'll stop texting me to check in on you?
I'm gonna have to talk to them eventually, huh?
Yes, you are.
You so sure about that?
This lady is literally following her and her friends around. Why hasn't anyone called the cops? The friends quickly realize that she is a whack job and that she's not safe to be around.
I mean, unless she has a GPS tracking device on Kerry's phone.
At this point, I wouldn't be surprised.
Well, that lady gives me the creeps.
After a full day of hanging out again, Lindy drops Kerry off at home, now obviously trying to drive a wedge further between Kerry and her mom.
Have to talk to my mother now is all.
Why are you still calling her that? Your mother.
Because she is?
She then thinks it's a wonderful idea to manhandle Kerry, and the parents abruptly close the door on her. Lindy is then on the verge of hysterics, spam calling Kerry, attempting to apologize.
Just wanted to call and apologize for what happened earlier. It's all just a big misunderstanding. Look, I know that I've been a little off with you lately, and I'm sorry. It's just that since I lost the baby, it's just been so nice getting to spend this time with you and getting closer to you.
Kerry's mom and dad then give her the birthday gift, which turns out to be a shitty painting of the mom holding her as a baby. Sweet sentiment, poor execution. Lindy sees them all having a wonderful time and realizes her plans are crumbling. It is now the evening of Kerry's party, and Kerry comes down in her dress. Kerry's boyfriend busts a nut in his pants, while her dad can't stop looking at the ground, listening to his internal monologue that is screaming at him for getting a boner from his daughter. Lindy then swiftly eliminates her threats, getting rid of Kerry's mom and Miss Meadows. Meanwhile, Kerry is at the party and bumps into Lindy. Lindy then makes an attempt to patch things up with Kerry by giving her the ballerina snow globe that we saw initially at the beginning of the movie. Kerry looks across the room and notices that Lindy stole her phone and witnesses her texting with it. Even though she sees this, she makes no attempt to try and stop her or try to get her phone back. Savannah and Kerry and her crew do the dance of the century, while everyone clapped their hands and jizzed on them. Kerry then sees Lindy scurry away at the end of the performance, and for some reason, Kerry now senses that something is wrong, which is quite the delayed reaction on her end. Kerry's mom and Coach Meadows manage to free each other, and Lindy comes in at the perfect time with her gun.
Both of you, stay right there.
Lindy loses them in a matter of seconds because she's a fucking idiot. Miss Meadows and Kerry's mom hide outside, but Miss Meadows is giving away their location because her head is so fucking big. Kerry's mom ditches Miss Meadows, making no attempt to rescue her. Seriously, she just runs away while she's strangling her. She could have hit her or something. Lindy suddenly decides to strangle Miss Meadows rather than using the gun she was previously just flexing when she entered the house. Lindy remembers that she has a firearm and threatens to kill Kerry's mom. Charlie decides to be a simp and calls out Lindy's name while walking blindly into her firearm. He gets shot and falls to the ground almost immediately. While Kerry's mom and Lindy have sex on the ground, Kerry has a big brain moment and decides to pick up the gun.
Kerry is my daughter. That ballerina snow globe that I gave you, that was the first thing that I ever bought you.
This This is the moment when Kerry and her mom finally realize that Lindy is her biological mother. At least now we know why they kept referencing the snow globe. Then, Kerry's mom has a brilliant idea to take a rock and smash Lindy in the head, even though the threat has already been eliminated since Kerry is holding the gun. Accidentally, Kerry's mom hits Lindy too hard in the head and kills Lindy. Please, we all know she intended to use as much force as possible. The movie abruptly ends with everyone at the art gallery sharing their mediocre paintings, smiling, acting completely normal, as if nothing ever happened. Yeah, that's realistic. If this was real, Kerry would probably have PTSD for the rest of her life, and I'm not even saying that as a joke. This movie is insulting towards those who are actually adopted, and insulting to those who give up their babies for adoption. Maybe I'm just too high looking too into it. Well, I don't even know what to say. How do I conclude this video when the movie can't conclude itself? I guess I'm just gonna call it a night. See you guys in the next one. Bye!